All right, let's dive into something that's all around us, but at the same time, almost completely invisible. We're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden world of business markets. And I promise you, you'll be pretty surprised at how much it shapes pretty much everything in your life. Our story starts with something you've seen a million times. A simple pair of boots. You see them on a shelf, you like them, you buy them. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, this pair of boots is going to be our guide through a world you've probably never even thought about. Because here's the thing. The story of this boot didn't start when you picked it up. Nope. It started way, way before that, through a whole chain of transactions and deals that look nothing like your trip to the mall. And that's the mystery we're going to unravel today. To really get it, we need to leave our world of shopping carts and credit cards behind for a second and step into a much, much bigger arena. So what does that actually mean in plain English? Well, the business market isn't about you or me buying stuff for ourselves. It's about companies buying things to make other things. You know, like a car company buying tons of steel or a restaurant buying a new pizza oven. This is the whole business-to-business world, or B2B, as you'll often hear it called. And this iceberg analogy, it's perfect. Everything we buy as consumers, every phone, every cup of coffee, every car, that's just the tiny visible tip. Underneath the water is this absolutely colossal business market that had to exist first to make all that stuff we buy even possible. So where is this place? If all these deals are happening, but they're not in our local stores, where is this hidden marketplace? Well, the short answer is pretty much everywhere. Seriously, a farm buying a new tractor, that's the business market. A hospital buying an MRI machine, that's the business market too. A construction company buying cement, even your school buying desks and computers, they're all part of it. And yeah, look at this, it really drives the point home. We think of a marketplace as a retail store, right? But for businesses, a marketplace could be a factory floor where they're installing a multi-million-dollar piece of equipment, or it could be deep in a mine where raw materials are being pulled from the earth. But it's not just where they buy that's different. It's the entire process. The way a company buys something is fundamentally completely different from how you or I do. Just look at this breakdown. When you buy boots, the decision is pretty much just you. The purchase is one pair, and your relationship with the store is, brief. But for a business, the decision is made by a whole team of people. Engineers, finance folks, purchasing agents. The purchase size isn't one pair of boots, it's 50 tons of rubber. And the relationship they have with their supplier, it's often a super complex, long-term partnership. And this visual, wow, it just says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got a personal, maybe even emotional choice about a toy. On the other, you have a professional auction where companies are bidding millions of dollars on heavy machinery. The stakes, the process, the mindset, it's a totally different universe. This whole team-based decision-making thing is so common it actually has a name, the buying center. Now, it's not a real place, it's a group of people, each with a different role. You've got the people who will actually use the product, technical experts who act as influencers, executives who are the ultimate deciders, and the purchasing agents who are the official buyers. And they all have to agree. I mean, just imagine trying to get that many people to agree on where to go for lunch, let alone a multi-million-dollar purchase. Okay, so now we get the what and the how. Let's go back to our hero, those boots, and trace their story backward through this wild, hidden world. And this right here, this is the most important idea to get your head around. It's called derived demand. The entire massive business market only exists because we, the consumers, want stuff. A boot factory only buys leather and rubber because they think you're going to buy their finished boots. Your decision to buy is the tiny spark that ignites this massive chain reaction. So let's follow that chain reaction back. Way before a boot was a boot, a factory had to make the sole. And to do that, they first had to buy raw materials, like these little plastic or rubber pellets, from a totally different company. And boom, that's our first B2B sale. Okay, next, you can't just squish those pellets into a boot sole with your bare hands, right? So the factory needed massive, complex machinery like this. And where did they get it? They had to buy it from yet another company, and that wasn't a quick purchase. You can bet it was a huge B2B deal involving engineers, financing, and probably a long-term service contract. And of course, all these parts and pieces don't just magically teleport to the next factory. They have to be moved by these huge, complex logistics networks. So now you've got shipping companies buying trains, trucks, and all sorts of sophisticated software to manage it all. Every single step is another link in the B2B chain. All of it set in motion by the future sale of one simple pair of boots. So now you're starting to get the picture, right? The incredible size of this hidden world. Every single product you own has a similar, complex backstory. So let's put some real scale to this. And there it is. That's the big reveal. For every single dollar you spend as a consumer, multiple dollars have already been spent behind the scenes in the business market. It is, without a doubt, the real engine of the economy. So just look around you right now. The screen you're watching this on, the chair you're sitting in, the mug on your desk. Every single component of every one of those things was bought and sold, sometimes dozens of times over, in the business market before it ever got to you. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. From the second you woke up this morning, you've been the final link in countless invisible supply chains. So the next time you buy something as simple as a pair of boots, just take a second to think about the immense hidden world of deals that had to happen first just to make that one simple purchase possible. Pretty wild, right?